Title: She needed a plumber, and the single dad who showed up changed her entire life. The water wouldn't stop pouring from under the sink. It soaked the kitchen floor, ruined old photo albums, and echoed through the quiet house like a warning. She stood there frozen, phone in hand, realizing this small emergency had cracked open something much bigger: how alone she really was. She thought she was just calling a plumber. She had no idea she was about to meet someone whose kindness would slowly, unexpectedly, change the direction of her entire life. Before the story begins, take a moment to support Heartfelt Moments. If stories about real kindness and human connection move you, please subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your support helps these stories reach hearts that need them. Her name was Laura Mitchell, a 39-year-old woman living in a modest suburban home in Ohio. From the outside, her life looked stable. A neat lawn. A reliable job as an insurance claims assistant. A quiet routine. But inside, the house felt empty, too quiet ever since her mother passed away 2 years earlier. Laura had spent most of her adult life caring for her mom, who had been ill for years. Friends drifted away. Dating never happened. When her mother died, Laura was left with silence and a house full of memories. She told herself she was fine. Independent. Strong. Until the sink broke. She searched online and called the first plumber who could come that same afternoon. When the doorbell rang, she opened the door expecting someone older, gruff, and in a hurry. Instead, standing on her porch was Mark Reynolds, a 41-year-old single dad with tired eyes and a gentle smile. He wore worn work boots, jeans, and a navy blue work shirt with a stitched name patch. Behind him, in his pickup truck, Laura noticed a child's booster seat in the back. "Hi, I'm Mark," he said kindly. "I hear you've got a leak that won't quit." As he stepped inside, Laura apologized more than she needed to. For the mess. For the water. For being flustered. Mark waved it off with ease. "Happens all the time," he said. "That's what I'm here for." While he worked under the sink, Laura hovered nearby, unsure why she felt nervous. Maybe it was just nice hearing another human voice in her home. Mark explained everything he was doing in simple terms, never talking down to her. Halfway through the repair, his phone buzzed. He glanced at it and smiled. "My daughter," he said. "She just got out of school." Laura paused. "You're a dad?" "Yeah," he replied. "Emily's 10. It's just the two of us." There was something in his voice, not sadness, not pride alone, but deep devotion. Laura felt an unexpected warmth. The repair took longer than expected. A corroded pipe. A stubborn valve. Mark stayed calm, even cheerful. When he finished, Laura asked how much she owed. Mark looked around the kitchen and noticed the water-damaged photo albums drying on towels. He hesitated. "I'll charge you for parts," he said gently. "No labor." Laura blinked. "You don't have to do that." "I know," he said. "But I want to." Something in Laura's chest tightened. She hadn't been offered kindness like that in a long time. Not without conditions. Before leaving, Mark handed her his card. "If anything else acts up, call me." She watched from the window as he drove away, feeling something shift, small, but real. Over the next few weeks, things around the house seemed to break more often than usual. A door hinge. A dripping faucet. Laura told herself she could call anyone. But she kept calling Mark. Each time, he showed up with the same calm presence. Sometimes Emily waited in the truck with a book. Once, Laura brought her hot chocolate. Emily smiled shyly and told her about school. Slowly, conversation replaced small talk. Laura learned Mark's wife had passed away 5 years earlier after a sudden illness. He had rebuilt his life around being a good father and running his small plumbing business. One evening, after fixing a heater just before winter, Laura offered Mark dinner as a thank you. He hesitated, then agreed. They ate simple pasta at the kitchen table. laughed about burned garlic bread. Emily talked nonstop about her science project. For the first time in years, Laura felt her house come alive. Weeks turned into months. Mark never rushed anything. He never pushed. His kindness wasn't loud or dramatic. It showed up in small ways, shoveling Laura's driveway after a snowstorm, checking in after a storm, fixing things she hadn't even noticed yet. Laura found herself smiling more. Cooking again. Letting light into rooms she'd kept closed. One evening, as they sat on the porch watching Emily draw with chalk, Laura finally said it. "I didn't realize how lonely I was," she admitted softly. Mark nodded. "Neither did I. Not until I stopped being lonely alone." Their relationship grew slowly, built on trust and shared understanding. They supported each other through bad days, through grief that still surfaced unexpectedly. Kindness didn't erase their pain, but it made it bearable. 2 years later, Laura stood in the same kitchen, now remodeled, laughter echoing through the house. She watched Mark help Emily with homework while dinner simmered on the stove. The sink worked perfectly. But more importantly, so did her heart. She had called a plumber for a broken pipe. What she found was a family, a future, and a reminder that kindness, simple, genuine kindness, has the power to rebuild lives from the inside out. So if you ever wonder whether a small act matters, remember this: showing up with patience, compassion, and care might change someone's entire world. And sometimes, it changes yours too.